Welcome to Stanley, Scuba, Sailing, and Adventures. How to convert decimal degrees to degrees, minutes, and seconds using Excel. Although I have the units on my Garmin Descent MK2i set to degrees, minutes, and seconds, it only seems to display it in decimal degrees in the application. In case you're not familiar with it, this is the Garmin Connect application where you can view your dive log. The MK2i is fairly new, so I don't have a lot of dives on it. For this exercise, I'm going to focus on some dives I did recently in the British Virgin Islands. I'd like to take those decimal degrees and convert them into degrees, minutes, and seconds so that I can plot these dives on a paper chart. If I drill into this particular dive, the dive location you see is Black Forest. You can see there's an entry and an exit location. For this exercise, I'm going to focus on the entry locations. As a side note, I never noticed this badge before for diving on Halloween. That's kind of fun. My Garmin dive watch has been extremely reliable and I really enjoy using it. I also thoroughly enjoy this application and being able to zoom in, zoom out, and look at the entry and exit points for each dive. I couldn't find a way to bulk copy all of the entry locations from the application, so I copied and pasted them manually into Excel. Here you can see we have the degrees decimal, and what I want to get to is this degrees, minutes, and seconds. I have another video where I demonstrated how to do this with pencil and paper. Ultimately, what I want to get to is this nice print version where everything's formatted very nicely and spaced evenly. Then I can use this when I go to my paper chart to plot those dive locations. I'm going to switch tabs, and this really is just a copy of the other tab, but here I've shown all the formulas. You can see in row 1 I've done a show formula for each cell. I've done this as a series of steps. It was faster and easier for me to do it this way. I'm guessing you probably could do it all in a single cell if you really wanted to. The first thing I did was parse out the latitude and longitude using the comma as reference. Then I separated latitude degrees and used a round down function because I didn't want to lose the precision of the degrees. For latitude minutes, I subtracted the degrees, then multiplied by 60 to get the minutes. Similarly, for seconds, I subtracted the degrees, then subtracted the minutes, then multiplied by 60 to get the seconds. I did do the calculations for a single row with pencil and paper to confirm that my calculations were correct. I then concatenated my latitude degrees, minutes, and seconds to form the new latitude column, adding the degree symbol, minute symbol, and second symbol. You'll notice on row 4, column K, that I've lost the leading and trailing 0 in my seconds. On row 4, column J, I right-clicked, but it didn't show up in the screen capture and did a custom format to ensure that the leading and trailing zeros were there. However, for whatever reason, when I concatenated those columns, that format was lost. I even tried formatting row 4, column K the same way, but it just wouldn't display correctly. I knew this would irritate me, and I would come back to it later. Moving on to longitude, I performed the same steps to separate longitude degrees, longitude minutes, and longitude seconds. Please let me know in the comments if you're interested in having a copy of this Excel file, and I'll post a link and put it out on OneDrive for you to download. Again, I performed the exact same steps for longitude, degrees, minutes, and seconds to parse those out and perform the calculations. Here you can see we have our longitude column formatted correctly, but you'll notice I have the same formatting issues up top in rows 4 and 5 where I lose the trailing zeros. In the last set of columns, I've addressed my formatting issues because I'm right-clicking and using custom display for each cell. For whatever reason, I couldn't get it to work when using concatenation. I saw some formulas that were supposed to solve that problem, but they didn't for me. This tab is an exact copy of the other one. I simply hid the cells I didn't need to make the view nice for formatting and printing. Here are the cells unhidden, and then I'll rehide those. And again, what I ultimately wanted to get to was this nice print. Please let me know in the comments if you're interested in a copy of the file, and I'll post a share. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment.